Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Felix. Welcome to 30 Minutes in Dash. Again, here, same time, every Wednesday, every 2 weeks. Pleasure to have you here. Dash, a payment-focused cryptocurrency. As you know, we want to be the digital cash for the world, and I think we're on a very good way. We have launched, or we are launching, more and more payment options, so you can go around, you can spend your Dash in many different ways, from gift cards to QR payment, whatever you want, wherever in the world. And today I'm super excited because we bring it really to the next level with my good friend Baptiste. He's the CEO of Space, and we're here to talk about the metaverse today. Welcome, Baptiste. How are you doing?
Awesome. Great. Yeah, great to connect with you over here. How's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I hear you're in Europe right now, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. So to start off with, I'm not sure if all our viewers really know what the hell we're talking about today. Metaverse is something I hear a lot recently. It seems to have something to do with virtual realities. It seems to have something to do with VR, but not necessarily. It seems to have something to do with new forms of things that people can do in the virtual world, I would say. And probably also, as I remember, the metaverse is not a new thing. In fact, we are seeing different metaverses popping up since the 90s. So before we dig into all of that, Baptiste, maybe a few words about you. What do you do? Where you come from? What is your background?
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I've been mainly involved in helping people start companies for the last 3-4 years, kind of like a software for a company building, venture builder. That's where I've kind of met a bunch of amazing people, helped a lot of very exciting projects, including most recently a quick commerce project in the UK, which became super successful. And funny story about Space. So we're actually a virtual world focused on immersive commerce and immersive events. Super excited to have you on board with this as well. And we basically really believe that there was a very important split off point basically in the last 12 months from what happened the last 20 years. So virtual worlds to date have usually been kind of like a social game, mass multiplayer online role-playing game, where you make friends, hang out with people, try on different avatar skins, potentially watch things. But basically in the last 12, 14 months, we saw this big change where it's no longer a game or just a one virtual world, but rather it's the start of the matrix of the Ready Player One, where actually virtual worlds will be the beginning of walkable internet. And that's all thanks to the concept of land parcels being kind of like something similar to a website domain, where you are basically in the virtual world and your parcel will be like your 3-dimensional website or 3D experience. And so I think that was really the game-changing moment for virtual worlds, and it kind of changed from being just a game with a social aspect to being the beginning of what will be the walkable internet. And so what we're seeing a lot in Web3 is we're seeing a lot of people kind of work together. Interoperability is a big thing in Web3, and we're starting to see that worlds are trying to kind of unite together to make sure that you can travel across different worlds. You can wear the same avatar profile in different worlds, which is very different than how things have been running for the last 20 years in tech. So yeah, super excited to dive into this with you. Yep.
Sorry, my internet threw me out. I'm in the middle of a tropical storm here in Thailand, so this time it must be my internet. Excuse me, everyone. Okay, so you're honestly the first person in here in this show who is not talking about crypto first. You're saying Web3. So Web3, I assume, is is more than just connecting a wallet to a web page for you, right?
Yeah, I think Web3 is many things, right? It's basically the combination of technologies that makes Web3. Basically, it's the context of like decentralized apps that run on the blockchain, that run on decentralized peer-to-peer nodes, servers. There's basically an e-money that you're using within this. There's an identity that is a lot more protected and that you are in control of, that you're using across this new internet. And what I really believe beyond just IoTs and mixed reality, one of the biggest use cases is going to be basically this walkable internet, which is going to, of course, become bigger as AR glasses and VR glasses become a lot more, basically mass adoption product. But we're starting to see the beginnings of this walkable internet take place with a couple of interesting projects like Decentraland, CryptoVoxel, Somnium Space, and yeah.
And Spaces. So what makes Spaces different now that we are here already?
Yeah, cool. So Space is basically a virtual world focused on immersive commerce and immersive events and discussion rooms. I would say the big differentiating factor from the other virtual worlds is that we're really a big fan of them. We'd love to work together with them, but the idea is that basically we're a lot more commerce focused, whereas they are a lot more 3D social network focused, where people, create beautiful things that people can admire. They make friends, they hang out, they play maybe mini games, but not at all a focus on what we think is going to be the future of shopping or social shopping.
Fantastic. So I guess we actually prepared something very special for our audience and highly experimental, I would say. Because just aligned that we show you the metaverse. So you and me are going to turn the camera off for a second, switch over to the metaverse as you are screen sharing, Baptiste, correct?
Sure, I can screen share.
Okay, perfect. Then I see you on the other side. That's how they say, I think. I'm not really sure. Is it working already? I cannot see anything, Baptiste.
Can you see the shared screen now?
Oh yeah, I see myself now. It looks friggin' spooky. Hello, my friend. Okay, and now I'm here in the metaverse. I'm moving around. And we have here, we have a presentation that we were flipping around, right? That's amazing. We have, what do we have here? I mean, look at this beauty.
Yeah, you could do really cool.
Here we go. Okay, you tagged us something on the wall, I can see.
Yep, yeah, you can paint in here. We can also react to each other. We can
dropping a smiley.
Yeah, we can chat to each other. We can even share GIFs. Funny stuff like this.
Nice. That looks good.
Yeah.
I think that one is lost.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah.
Okay, we're still trying this out. This is a prototype, right? Where you're showing
it's
us
early
right
days.
Now.
Yeah, it's early days. But
prototype.
Let's walk down here. Actually, let's walk down together.
Sure. Where should I walk to?
I'm down here. Down the stairs.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Okay, so the whole idea is that you basically have different events here, yeah? You said shopping events or commerce focused events,
absolutely,
right?
So the idea is that this is basically a designed space, but the idea is once it goes live, you can actually explore the whole world surrounding us, and you'll be able to walk directly to other experiences, walk to DJ stream events, walk to people's art galleries and shops, and it's going to be super interesting.
This is super exciting, I gotta say. It's a very fun experiment to do a metaverse show in a live stream TV show, I guess we are already in the Web3, like deep inside the Web3. So cool stuff. Okay, I would say let's switch back over to the studio. What do you say?
Yep, sounds good. I'm gonna close out this room.
Okay, thank you for the demo. That was really exciting. It's, I mean, something really different to touch and feel it. It feels a bit, it feels very much actually like a computer game, like the games we are, used to for the last 25 years already.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's an aspect about making it fun and something people are comfortable with already in the past that makes it feel a lot more homey.
So in terms of commerce, you say, I assume what are kind of the areas and the sectors or the industries you say you would focus on first?
Sure. Yeah. So we're really focused on kind of like the creative and the arts industry. So music, art, and fashion. I think that's really the main focus points and the ones that we care to bring into the world. We definitely have seen a lot of them show a lot of interest since the NFT boom earlier this year to get involved with digital art, with displaying fashion apparel, finding ways for them to do DJ experiences, concert experiences. And I think it's just all really nicely coming together, and people are starting to see the value from the creative world to use a virtual world as a new funnel, basically a new way to entertain people, a new way for them to get creative about their business model. And yeah, it's extremely exciting.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is one thing I also observe, maybe you didn't know that, but actually the way I started blockchain was trying to convince corporations that they need blockchain. And that was back in a time where everybody was like, yeah, we're doing good business already, boy.
Yeah.
Come back when you have something interesting, kind of. And for me, I decided I actually I don't want to convince anyone anymore that they need blockchain. I mean, you kind of have to figure it out yourself, and when the business case becomes so obvious, then suddenly everybody wants something now, right? And I'm very happy, honestly, to see finally NFTs being the catalyst for like these old dog industries to see there is a value in really something else, no?
No, absolutely. Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that. I definitely remember the early days of trying to convince people of what's the point behind it. That's super interesting. Yeah, I think what's super exciting though is, really the reason this has taken off has a lot to do with people being able to discover and recognize 3D worlds as a place for them to create a new avenue of revenue. But it also comes from the fact that people have, especially in the creative industry, have suffered a lot in the last 2 years, and who have kind of had to think about what are new ways for them to drive revenue. And so I feel like the timing is really amazing. We're seeing a lot of people from the creative industry show an interest in this, want to try and get involved in this. And even with our project, we already have like a bunch of fashion brands, art galleries, beauty brands, etc., really interested in a project like ours. So it's very exciting.
Fantastic. Let us talk about the business part, or the kind of the value proposition for all these companies. Let us do that after a very short break. We will be right back, guys. See you in a minute.
CNETV, the first and leading 24/7 live broadcasting blockchain, cryptocurrency and fintech TV application. On our mobile app, you have access to our latest news updates ranging from esports, fintech, iGaming, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and artificial intelligence. We bring to you interviews, analyses, cryptocurrencies, market reviews, and live events. Download our app today from your iOS or Google Play Store, or on our website at cnetv.io. CNETV, objectivity is our watchword.
Welcome back, guys. 30 minutes in Dash, second part. I'm here with Baptiste Amadian, the CEO of the Metaverse project Space. Welcome back, Baptiste. We were just talking about the kind of the business models and the value proposition for these use cases you mentioned. I believe you mentioned art, music, basically all kinds of shopping experience. So maybe let's start with the artists. Where do you see kind of like how can an artist profit from what you have to offer, and how can they monetize?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's like on an objective level beyond like the exciting thing of a 3D experience, there's really 4 strong value propositions for people. One is the fact that it's social, so people can actually be inside of someone else's experience together with strangers, with their friends, and the data insight that this can give to a brand when they just speak amongst each other and share their opinions about, I really like this long sleeve T-shirt, or like, oh, I really like their backpacks, and then somewhere in the crack someone might spit out, or a couple people might agree, like, yeah, I wish they stuck to just doing backpacks, right? Like this is huge customer insight for people. I think the aspect that it can reduce purchasing decision time is huge. So definitely in the future, you're going to see people be able to try on clothes virtually. But we're also going to be able, just from the fact that you can pick things up, turn them around, zoom in, zoom out, it's going to definitely reduce the time people take to make decisions. Not to forget that shopping in general is something that people, they want their friends' approval and opinion on this. So being able to do it together is definitely huge. Then I think is the fact that people are going to have virtual jobs, and the fact that you can kind of replace the awful chatbot experience with actually virtual store representatives that can answer questions, that can custom sell to you individually, that can just be there of help, I think is going to be massive as well. So a couple of things that really I think are going to be game changer from that experience standpoint. And just the ability for you to express yourself also creatively. Like you don't need to just do one thing in a sense, right? You can be very creative with what your space does, in the sense that maybe, okay, so maybe let's say you're a DJ, right? So often we've seen a lot now, the DJs have become quite like the polymaths of our society. They make music, they go out and DJ it. Usually they have their own fashion line or merch that they like to drop. Some of them have like a Patreon account or some sort of subscription room. And some of them have gotten into NFT art. And so just the ability to be able to do a combination of these things from one place is super exciting, because I could have, a garden space where I do my DJ streams. I could do like a members floor above with a subscription room. I could sell my merch in the store, and I could even do like an art auction on the side if I wanted to. And I think it's this combination that makes things extremely exciting.
So actually what you're saying is that what we will see is basically the same like in the old real world, but now kind of in a virtual space. And that enables us to do much more actually than we could ever do before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, you could technically have in a real physical store attempted to do something like this, but you've never really seen someone be able to pull off an auction and a subscription room and a store as a combo. So yeah.
I mean, I personally wonder, there are still things like auctions in the world, and they're like so popular and a newsworthy event where crazy stuff is happening, right? I mean, that should have been long gone. No, I mean, it's maybe just not a thing I would ever attend to, but it seems a bit fallen out of time.
I think it's funny you mentioned that, because I think one of the main things people have been over and over saying again for a good portion of the last 15, 16 years is that if retail doesn't catch up and make itself more entertaining, bring in mixed reality, bring in a lot of things that could make it more exciting, it's really not going to be able to withstand time, because the other world is more exciting, basically.
Yeah, it's a good point. And maybe one thing to mention, I mean, I was looking at spaces a bit, obviously, in before this. So I mean, what I understand is that what really differentiates spaces is to make life easy for these people who are not like the nerdy gamers like we maybe used to be, but you give them the easy tools to say, I'm a shop owner, and like in like 2-3 hours I can really build a shop with the tools that Spaces is providing. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, much quicker, to be honest. Like the whole point is basically, I think, in our assumption is basically that the way builder tools have been built to date, where you have to build pixel for pixel an experience, and people have spent hundreds of hours building their dream villas, sandcastle, etc. I think we really need that friction point to disappear and make it ultra easy, to the point where you're basically picking from beautiful templates what your store experience should be like, and from there focus more on the commerce. And that's actually what we're doing. We're completely reducing the difficulty of having to build, which is a huge friction point for a lot of people. And then, of course, the fact that you can't monetize to date has been a huge friction as well.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the shop owners and the business owners, they can choose how they want to monetize, right? So it's like completely in their realm to come up with that, or you come up with best practices, or how does that work? What do you have in mind, let's say?
I guess, how do you mean your question, if you don't mind?
No, I mean, will you, like, how can you help them to earn money is actually my question, right? It's like, number one is you give them an easy tool, right? But will you give them like other ideas how to monetize? Will you come up with like schemes or best practices how they can do something?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the focus is really for us, beyond making building easy, is that it's a larger focus on commerce tools, right? So making easy product descriptions, giving them a tutorial of how to set up the things you want to sell inside of a room, and from there, really, that's what I meant with multi-purpose rooms, right? You could close the door and make it a ticketed event. People have to pay to enter. You could create a subscription room that people have to pay monthly to enter. You can make a public room and show your art, show things that you want to put up for sale, and that kind of stuff. And then, of course, you can also flick between being able to purchase at a fixed price, set up an auction, all kinds of stuff.
Fantastic. And I guess also this is where we come back to Dash and the title of the show. I mean, you and me are kind of exploring already the possibilities what we can do with crypto payments, because I mean that's the obvious choice, right? You pay with crypto in a virtual world, right? You don't pull out your Visa card. That's not the plan, is it?
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, I think people want to definitely see a lot less friction points in general with everything we've seen to date in crypto and blockchain. In that sense, I think it's still super early days. We haven't seen many projects that are being super user friendly for the non-crypto native, or who don't need a shoulder to lean on when they're trying out these kind of things. So I think I'm a big believer in actually allowing people to pay both with all kinds of crypto wallets, with fiat, with all kinds of exciting projects, even like Fortmatic, where all you need is your phone number. So I'm really all for reducing the friction, to be honest. I'm not the kind of crypto anarchist that doesn't want to see that friction go away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about the user experience and to make life for people easier, right? It's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not about being too much stuck in something. I mean, one other interesting point you mentioned is kind of the shift to the VR world, to VR glasses. How do you see that, and how do you see that upcoming? Like changing what you are building? Is it? I assume for now it's not a VR experience first. How would you see that play out?
Yeah, sure. So really interesting question, actually. We're starting it as a web application, and from there we will later on next year be launching the Oculus app. But I think in general, like there seems to be still some very strong friction points, like the nauseating factor, the fact that like the user experience doesn't actually come up to you. You have to move down to these things, the quality of the glasses, etc., that have kind of gotten in the way of the VR consumption. But I also sometimes challenge that. I'm a big believer that it's really that VR game or that VR experience that's missing for people to get excited enough to force an experience with VR. So I think we're still like maybe 2.5 years, 3.5 years out from seeing mass adoption, depending on what we see come out with Quest 3, Apple's VR AR experiences. And so I think it's important to be there early, definitely, but there's still, I think it's more important to convince people that this is going to be a fun experience where they are still comfortable, which is web applications right now or iOS. And then from there, basically convincing them that, well, this could be a lot more fun for you in VR.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, first of all, we need this device, right? I mean, it's probably not there, but it's getting better, is it?
Yeah, and I think like, to be honest, movies that kind of like predict the future are kind of like not necessarily a very accurate depiction of what the future could be, in the sense, like, for example, it's already been debunked that advertising in VR is not going to be pop-ups in your face, right? It's going to be a lot more exciting, immersive experiences. And then as well, like, we don't really even know if VR is going to be the winning one. It might be AR, it might be mixed reality, it might be holographics, because the metaverse is not really just one walkable internet. It's the mix of IoTs, mixed reality, and VR experiences, and 3D experiences from flat displays that is really what's going to make it up. So that's also very important. I think that's a big fallacy right now. People think the metaverse is a virtual world, but the metaverse is really the rebirth of the internet with a lot more intertwined aspects.
Yeah, I really like that analogy. I think it's really brilliant what you say. I mean, and at the end of the day, we mentioned so many things that are kind of coming together now. It's like, it's crypto payments, it's a new internet experience, it's NFTs, basically, digital rights or things with rights in the digital world, right? Where you can really own a picture or a painting of something, a piece of digital art. I guess this is what at the end of the day makes it super exciting, where a metaverse really brings like a novelty into the space, right? In terms of experience, in terms of what you can do, in terms of use cases. So I guess for me, this is a very, very exciting time. We're almost at the end, Baptiste. Is there anything else you would like to share? Where can people find you?
Oh, find me in the metaverse. No, I mean, jokes aside, we have a Discord community. Go on tryspace.app. Join us. Join the ride. We're an amazing team of people, from Electronic Arts to Foxnext to people from Dash that are part of this project. So super excited. Long way to go before I think the metaverse becomes really what we think it's going to be. But yeah, please come join our journey. It's super exciting to start it with immersive commerce.
Fantastic. But it was a big pleasure to have you here. I'm sure we see each other again, and we will talk more about this topic.
Absolutely. By the way, I'd love to have a Dash t-shirt.
Oh yeah, we can get you that. I will make that happen.
That's awesome. Super. Fantastic. All right, guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. This was 30 Minutes in Dash. I'm your host, Felix Mago. I had a conversation with Baptiste Samidian, the CEO of Space. See you in 2 weeks, same time, same location. Happy Dashy time. Bye-bye.